Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Change2Twin First Deployment Voucher Open Call webinar. Let's just wait a few minutes for people to join the meeting, and then we'll start in a few minutes. So hello again. It's 11:05. I see the number of people has stabilized, so we're not having an influx of people anymore, so we can start the webinar. So good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the Change2Twin webinar on the First Deployment Voucher Open Call. Martha, please keep an eye for Oliver because I don't see him in the audience. But today I will be joined by Oliver Barakoff from Syntef to help answer any questions you may have during the Q&A session. And now I'll give you a...
He's here now. Yeah. Oliver, are you there? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Hi, Oliver. Welcome.
Hello.
And thank you for being here. So my name is Nuno Manarte. I'm a project manager at Fundingbox. We are responsible for managing the open call in Change2Twin, the open calls, I should say, and also the community. And so I'll give you a brief overview of the Change2Twin project and the First Deployment Voucher open call. Okay. So what is Change2Twin? Change2Twin is a Horizon 2020 funded project that supports manufacturing SMEs in their digitalization process by providing digital twin solutions. We believe that the concept of a digital twin is one of the big game changers in manufacturing and allows companies to significantly increase their global competitiveness. Change2Twin is part of the I4MS initiative, which is the European Union's initiative to digitalize the manufacturing industry. The project started in June 2020 and will end at the end of May 2024. The consortium has 18 partners and is led by SINTEF in Norway. And the goal of Change2Twin is to ensure that manufacturing SMEs have easy access to the technologies needed to deploy a digital twin. To achieve this goal, Change2Twin offers an end-to-end funding scheme. So what do we have for manufacturing SMEs? For manufacturing SMEs, we will provide them with an assessment and a twinning recipe that will be provided by a certified digital innovation hub. We'll also give them the chance to deploy a digital twin with technology providers to experiment and optimize the digital twin itself. We'll provide funding to make the digital twin accessible, and no prior knowledge is required on digital twinning. We also have something to offer to technology providers in the field of digital twinning. We will give them the chance to publish their technology in our marketplace. Digital innovation hubs will create twinning recipes for SMEs using the technology that is available in this marketplace. Technology providers will also have the chance to work with SMEs and turn their twinning recipes into reality in order for the manufacturing SMEs to create and test a digital twin. So this will give technology providers a chance to acquire new customers and discover new markets. For digital innovation hubs, we will provide them with training and certification on digital twinning, with which they will be eligible to provide assessment to SMEs on the potential to deploy a digital twin, and assess SMEs in the creation of ready-to-use twinning recipes for local SMEs. Digital innovation hubs will also have free use of the Change2Twin marketplace, which will contain the twinning technologies, and they'll be acting as brokers between SMEs and technology providers. So, and how do we propose to do this? For this, we'll have a funding scheme. Like I said, it's end-to-end funding scheme that will be based in 2 rounds of 2 open calls each. And we have mainly 2 instruments to do this. One is the assessment voucher, which provides up to 10,000 euros for manufacturing SMEs to get an assessment provided by a digital innovation hub, and in which they will get a ready-to-use twinning recipe. The other instrument we have is a deployment voucher, which is the topic of our webinar today, in which SMEs will receive up to 90,000 euros as a lump sum, in order to get the digital twin based on the recipe and test it, or in case they apply directly to get a digital twin based on technologies they have identified themselves and not on the recipe from the assessment voucher. And we have a multi-stakeholder principle that involves manufacturing SMEs, technology providers, and digital innovation hubs. So like I was saying, we have 2 rounds of 2 open calls. We are now finishing the first round of 2 open calls. We are in the deployment voucher first open call, which will close on the 29th of October. The first assessment voucher open call is already closed, and currently there are 19 companies going through the assessment with certified digital innovation hubs. The second round of open calls is scheduled to start at Q3 of next year. So then we'll have the second round of the assessment voucher. And the deployment voucher is forecast to start at Q4 of next year or Q1 of 2023. These are indicative dates and may be subject to change. For the deployment voucher first open call, we will select up to 11 beneficiaries who will receive up to 90,000 euros as a lump sum. They will be given the opportunity to participate also in an 11-month support program that will include technical mentorship to support the digital twin deployment in each phase of its implementation, from user requirements to design specification. So who can apply to this open call? We are looking for end-user manufacturing SMEs from the European Union or Horizon 2020 associated countries. Companies applying to the open call will ideally have a digitalization level of 3, according to the ACATEC Industry 4.0 Maturity Index. And this means that they already use dashboards and that data from important business processes, such as production, are already made available by the use of sensors. There is also a minimum level of digitalization, which is level 2. because, as you know, digital twins require data in order to operate. So companies that apply must at least be at this level, which means that digital systems in the organization are largely connected to each other and exchange data to provide business applications and software with relevant information. A typical example of this would be an ERP software. So an ideal use case. The goal must be the development of a digital twin for a manufacturing SME or mid-cap and the implementation of the respective technologies and systems. Please note that funding is only applicable for the implementation of digital twin technologies in the end-user manufacturing SMEs and mid-caps, not in technology providers. The digital twin should be used for one or more of the purposes in the guide for applicants, like virtual design, customer engagement, commissioning, feedback to engineering, monitoring, optimization and best quality, scheduling, diagnosis, preventive maintenance, smart logistics, or smart systems. You have a detailed description of these purposes in the guide for applicants and in the frequently asked questions. The projects that apply to this open call must increase the digital maturity of the end user, must lead to proven business benefits for the SME using digital twin technology, and must eventually provide lessons that can be learned and shared with the manufacturing company in Europe, with the manufacturing community partner in Europe. So now I'll give you a brief overview of the evaluation process. We are now in the proposal submission phase until the end of October. After the deadline of the open call, that we will perform an eligibility check and check that all applications are eligible or not. Eligible applications will be passed on to external evaluation, which will be performed by 2 external evaluators. After which we will have a consensus meeting that will validate all the proposals that were scored by the evaluators above the minimum quality threshold. Once those are validated, they will go through the formal and legal checks to verify that they are indeed manufacturing SMEs and that they are either SMEs or mid-caps and not larger. And we will also continue to check the eligibility throughout all this process, after which the selected finalists will go to the FSTP agreement signature and start their program. So what do we check during the eligibility checks? We'll check, like I said, that they are indeed a manufacturing SME or mid-cap, that they are from an eligible country, that they have the minimum level of digitalization, the proposal is in English, all mandatory sections are duly completed, that the applicant has not received more than 100,000 euro from other I4MS or SAE projects, and this means FSTP, like the open call we have here, not directly from Horizon 2020 project. We'll check also that the applicant is not under liquidation or under difficulty, and we'll check for the absence of conflict of interests with the partners of Change2Twin. So for the evaluation criteria, the application form has 3 sections, much like any Horizon 2020 application form. We will evaluate the ambition in this section, in which we would like to know why you are applying to this open call. Why do you want to implement a digital twin and how does it connect to your business and its KPIs? What KPIs are important for your future business operations? What purpose or purposes for digital twin do you think offers the more advantages? And what part of your company has the greatest potential for improvement? In this section, we will also like to get some information on the innovation. So we'd like to know what current production process or processes you want to improve, your self-assessment regarding your current level of digitalization and why you believe this is correct, which systems or services need to become smart and why, and we'd like also to know if you aim at autonomous behavior or at supporting human operators or users. For the impact section, we will evaluate the market opportunity. This means the market potential of the new or improved processes. Does it solve a specific problem for a specific target customer or client, or does it provide any other competitive advantage that is significant to your business? How can you improve your offer through digitalization, and what aspects can you improve, and what aspects would your customers like to see improved? For the business impacts, we would like to know which parts of your business will benefit the most and why, how essential is the digital twin for future or core processes or products, and if you aim at the improvement of existing products or services or at new market opportunities, e.g. with the introduction of smart systems. Still in the impact section, we'd like to know the information regarding time-critical information use. which means that we'd like to know where are the envisioned advantages of near real-time insights provided by the digital twin. Are your business processes and people prepared to act on live data or near real-time insights? And how costly is any failure to act in time, and who bears these costs? For implementation section, we'd like some information on the team that is involved in the project from your side. So we'd like to know previous experience in digitalization projects and the skills and experience of the team that should be balanced and cross-functional with a strong background. For resources, we'd like you to, in this section, demonstrate the quality and effectiveness of the resources that are assigned in order to get the objectives and deliverables proposed. Some things to keep in mind in all these sections. You must show us that the digital twin is important for the company. It's not an afterthought, or it's not a nice to have. It's something that you foresee will have a definite impact in your business and provide you with a significant competitive advantages. So you should really show the impacts that the digital twin is expected to have in your business and your competitiveness. Now I will give you a brief overview of the application form, and then we go to the Q&A section of the webinar. So if you go on to our application page, you'll go to this screen where you have the chance to start an application by clicking on Apply Now. Once you do that, you go on to this page and you can start here your new application. Once you start a new application, you have the option to add a contributor to this application. If you have another user in Fundingbox platform that you want to edit the application together with you, you can add them here. You can click the fill button to fill in the different sections. All sections are obligatory, and you can also export the application as a PDF file. Once you go into the basic information section, you'll be asked to give us the project acronym and title and the name and contacts of the person that we should contact in case we need to contact you. After you are finished, please don't forget to save and continue, to click save and continue, otherwise all information will be lost, and this applies to all sections. For the general company information, we will ask you some details of the company, the country, the VAT number, website, and to specify your sector. And please keep in mind that if you answer no to the question, are you an end user, SME, or mid-cap in the manufacturing sector, this will mean that your application is not eligible and will not be evaluated. For the next section of the application form, you'll be asked to provide information on the excellence and the impact part. After you select your level of digitalization, please briefly explain why you think this is correct according to the Architect Industry 4.0 Maturity Index. In the impact section, these are all the questions that we will have, and don't forget to save and continue at the end. For the resources part, after you explain in the previous section what kind of resources you will need, we'll ask you here to calculate the budget for the project. Okay, so you have more information in the guide for applicants and the FAQs on how to calculate these costs. One thing to keep in mind is that the subcontracting is not taken into account in calculating the overheads. So for the 25%, you'll just sum 1, 2, and 3, which means personnel, travel, and consumables and equipment costs. And then for the total cost sum, you will include obviously the subcontracting and sum it to all the previous 5 parts. One important thing in this section is that if you have previously received funding from another horizon, from another I4MS or SAE project, please state in this section the amount that you have received and what projects you received it from. Okay. The final 2 sections are the declaration of honor, which you must fill in, and you must also agree to the processing of your personal data for the purposes of this open call. Once you are done filling in all these sections, you will be allowed to submit now. You'll get this message that the application is ready to submit, and you can hit submit now. One thing to keep in mind, you can keep editing the application even after you submit up until the deadline. So one advice is not to wait until the last minute because things happen. You may lose access to internet, your computer may crash. For whatever reason you forget or you think you hit submit. If you don't submit your application, we will not be able to evaluate it, and there is nothing we can do. So you can submit the application 1 day, 2 days before and keep editing right until the deadline. In that way, you will always have an application submitted. And that's all for my part. Thank you very much for your attention. And now I will see the questions you have in the chat. Marta, do you have questions?
Yeah, we have already one question. I wanted to ask first if Oliver wants to add something to what you have explained, or I just start right away with the question.
Thanks. No, I think Nuno covered everything very nicely, so nothing specific to add.
Okay. So I will go with the first question. It's will you kindly clarify if the money 10 plus 90K are grant or loan?
They are a grant. Yes. So there is no need to return the money.
Okay. Any other questions?
And the 90K will be 70% of your submitted budget, which means if the budget you have for this application is, for instance, 90K, what you will receive is 70% of that and not 90K. If it's above that, the 90K we have is the absolutely maximum that we will provide. So if your budget, let's say it's 400,000 euros, you will not get 70% of that. The maximum we will get is 90K.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions over here? Probably for the people that has already started the application and has specific questions about the form, about how to, some tips to improve their applications. Okay, we have another one here. Hello, is it possible to have the link to the guide for applicants? Yeah, sure. I will send it through the chat. Question regarding an SME that was selected for Better Factory project and will receive 200,000 euros to be split 50,000 for the SMEs, 50,000 for the artist, 100,000 for the technology supply. Can the SME be eligible for this open call counting 50,000 and not 200,000? There were so many numbers over there. I think I can just copy paste it in the chat.
The SME received is 50,000, then the maximum you'll be able to receive in this open call is 50,000. So in order you never receive more than 100,000 for My4MS or SAE projects. So if selected, we will do the math, see what's the difference between what you have received and what is available in this open call. We'll check with the project officer, the European Commission, and then check if you agree to proceed with the project with the reduced amount or not.
Okay. Hello, we belong to a private company in defense and security sector in the field of training. Digitalization is important in our pedagogical process. Are we eligible to that project?
Well, if I understood correctly, you're a training company, so you're not a manufacturing company. So that means no, you will not be eligible for this open call.
You need to be a manufacturing company. There's another question. Is there a phone number I could talk with you?
Yeah, send an email to Open Calls if you want to schedule a direct one-to-one call, and I'll be happy to talk to you. opencalls@Change2Twin.eu. It's the email we have here in the screen. And just introduce yourself, say what you want, and I'll schedule it. I'll be happy to schedule a call with you.
Okay, we have another question here. Are logistic companies eligible as project proposers?
Again, if it's logistics, pure logistics with no manufacturing component, then no. If you go to the NACE revision 2 guide with codes and you have section C for manufacturing, if your company is not in one of those activities in section C of the NASA revision 2 codes, then you will not a manufacturing company.
Okay. Another one says, can new technology providers apply? How are they assessed and approved?
What was the first part? Can
new technology providers apply?
Well, like I said, we are looking for end user manufacturing SMEs. So technology providers cannot apply. They can be part of our marketplace, or they can join an end user SME and be the provider for that project, but they cannot apply directly as beneficiaries to the open call.
Okay. A question about manufacturing SME. If we are doing motor maintenance and in an industrial area, do you consider we are a manufacturing SME?
Well, I'll have to check that one with the codes for revision for manufacturing. I think maintenance is not included, but I will check, and if you send an email, I will directly reply to you with that question.
Hi, we are a group of companies. Are we able to apply with 2 to 3 companies together?
No, this is for single applicants that we are looking for. We will check, of course, if you are a group of companies, that if the whole group qualifies as SME or mid-cap. So if one company is owned by one or several companies, we'll take a look at the total. And for us, the definition of mid-cap is a total headcount of less than 3,000. So if your whole group has more than 3,000 people, you are not eligible. If it's less, then one of your companies can apply, and the others can be providers or cannot join the application.
Is there any limit, top percentage on subcontracting costs over total costs? Sorry.
No, since we expect to have companies with very little knowledge to deploy and implement the digital twin, so it is expected that subcontracting is needed to a high amount, so there is no set limit for subcontracting.
Yeah, okay. And the last one that we have, we are a machine producer company. Can we access to this call for virtual commissioning application?
Yes, machine producing companies can apply to this open call.
We have a new one here. As a technology provider, how do you apply to the marketplace? I guess to market the marketplace to the marketplace. How are we assessed and approved?
Well, you can send an email to marketplace@change2twin.eu, and then our colleagues at the marketplace that are taking care of the marketplace will be in contact with you and ask you for information. And then they will validate that information, and if they see that your offer is credible and it is related to digital twinning, you will be included you will be instructed on how to proceed to be included in the marketplace.
Okay. Any other question? No.
No more questions?
No, I think there are no more questions. I'm going to also add the link to our open call help desk here in the chat. So there you can all ask your questions and get assistance from our open call managers and the rest of the partners of the consortium. So feel free to ask your question there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
There's some more. Yeah. There's another one, 2 more actually. So are SMEs participating in the assessment phase advantaged versus the SMEs who haven't participated in the first phase?
The only advantage they have is that the report they will receive will provide them with a strong basis for the application. But regarding evaluation of the proposals, they will have no advantage. So evaluators are instructed to treat equally applications that come from companies that have participated in the assessment voucher or for companies that have not participated. So they are neither benefited nor given a lower score for that. So there is absolutely no difference.
Okay, we have an attendee here that didn't hear you properly before. Do we have to propose an internal project already on the go, or development, or even only an idea? Do we have to propose an internal project already on the go of development, or even only an idea?
Well, for the deployment voucher open call, you already need to propose a project for implementation of the digital twin. So if you only have the idea of what you want to do, my recommendation is that you wait for the next assessment voucher open call and apply to that one. That one is for companies that are earlier in the process and still don't know exactly what they want to do. So that is my recommendation. For this one, we expect you really to have an idea of what you want to do and what you need to do.
Okay. Another question is, hi, we have 10 biogas upgrading units operated from a central hub and maintained by our company. Is this activity eligible to Change2Twin?
Can you repeat the first part, Martha? I did not quite get it.
We have 10 biogas upgrading units operated from a central hub and maintained by our company. Is this activity eligible to Change2Twin?
So I understand all you do is maintain the biogas units. You don't manufacture anything.
Can you repeat the email for the marketplace?
Yeah, marketplace@change2twin.eu. You can see on the screen open calls at Change2Twin. Just replace open calls with marketplace, and that's it.
I tried to add this in the chat. I'm not sure if it got through to everyone. But perhaps Marta, you could also write that in the chat.
Yeah, sure. I will add all the links at the end of the webinar, and we will also send you by email.
Yeah, I'll write the email here.
Yeah, we also have it here. One from the open course. I have it here. Yeah. Okay, so we have a couple more questions. We are a small company in the automotive industry, tool shop. Are we suitable for open call?
Tool shop, do you manufacture the tools?
We don't manufacture.
So you're just a reseller or a distributor of tools?
Marco, can you provide us an answer? Yes. Okay, so you manufacture the tools. Yeah, I do.
So if you manufacture the tools, then yes, you are eligible. If you are just selling or distributing tools, then no. Okay. If there is a manufacturing component to your activity, then yes, you are an eligible company.
Okay. Is it necessary to use the marketplace?
No. Since the marketplace is still in its inception phase, we are just now opening to outside providers. So you are not obliged to use the marketplace. We'd very much like that any solution providers that you identified, that you encourage them to participate in the marketplace, so that would benefit us as a project and the whole community, the manufacturing community, in order to have access to that offering. So that would be great, but it's not necessary.
Okay. Let's move forward. Hi again, we're about to move our plant to another location. Is it okay evaluate the digitalization level with current status before moving?
Yes. I don't know what that moving will imply to your digitalization status. I hope it does not send it back. So.
Okay. So I think that was all.
No technical questions from Oliver, who was so nice to join us today.
Yeah. Nope, nothing else.
Nothing else? Okay. So thank you all very much for your time. If you have any further questions, please join us in our Change2Twin community in the help desk, or send us an email, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much, Oliver, for being here with us. I'm sorry you did not have any work to do. And okay, until next time, thank you all very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.